What is this place, Lois?
It's where I used to live when I was about 8 years old.
What's the name of the road, Lois?
I have no idea.
You know,
Cactus Road? I don't know. Look at it when we're going out. But I lived in this house when I was about 8 years old. I don't remember it looking like that though.
stop.
Whitefield was our neighbor, and then we moved, and then we moved across the road, and they moved in this house or something. Or we moved from there, from across the road over here, because they wanted the big house. I don't remember what it looked like inside. That's when I met you. Probably about 14. I don't know how many years I've lived here, but I've lived here when we met.
What road is this on?
College Corner, Fairhaven Road.
How long did you live
I have no idea. I don't remember. I know I met you when I was living at this house. I was living here when we had our first date.
I don't know how long you lived here.
Nope, I have no idea. I don't remember. There with all her brothers and sisters and her dad. I think there was Mom and Aunt Reva and Uncle Avery and Aunt Lily, and there's probably about 5 or 6 of them lived in that little tiny place.
You know about what year that was?
No, I have no idea. Well, I heard Mom talk about it, how tiny it was, and all of them lived in there. About probably 6 or 7 people lived in that little old tiny place. Look at the hedge apple on that tree. Little old tiny place.
Yeah.
I lived in this house, but I don't remember how long, and I don't remember how old I was. It's on Eaton Street in College Corner. Dad said he remembers us me living here, but I don't, particularly. Big old house. This is on County Line Road in College Corner. I lived here when I was about 15. Something like that. 15, 14, 15. I don't know. We moved several times. This is a real nice house inside. With wood staircase. Juanita Bell lived here with us too. My foster sister.
About what year was it? About
56, 57. Okay. My brother Don, his sister was there right now. That's their home on Eaton Street in College Corner. I don't know how many years they've lived there. They've owned it for a long time. This is where my mom lives now. My mom and dad bought this probably in early 60s. It's the only home they ever owned. On Vine Street in College Corner.
Mom's on.
Huh?
Mom's on.
Still here? Where they live, Mom lives now. Well, someone's not home. Got a garden. Oh, they've got gardens. Got pumpkins in there growing.
This is where Mom and Dad moved to in this farm back in the middle 40s. They moved from West Warren down here. I think I was about 4 or 5 years old. Moved down to Oxford. There used to be an old 2-story house here. It burned. Dad built this new rock boathouse. Stop. This is the new little stone house that Dad built. Got a basement underneath of it. The old 2-story burnt. This is the barn. The barn looks about like it always has. Hasn't had too much changes done. If I could stand a good painting. Played a many ball games out there in that yard. Some of the old cherry trees is gone. Things has changed over 30-some years.
Big new building.
Dad moved for, slow down Lois, we get around the barn. We moved down, okay, hold it right there. Dad built this cabin when I was a teenager, right on the edge of a pond. We used to have picnics out there, parties and different things. Wasn't black then, but it is, been painted since. And we moved from the 2-story house down. Dad built a new stone house down this way. We moved down here.
Candles in all the windows.
First new house that I remember.
Candles in all the windows.
Candles in the windows. How old it was. That changed much. Looks a lot like they've added another room. They used to have a breezeway, but they put a room in there now. The breezeway room in there between the house and the garage. Basically looks about like it did a long time ago.
Did they own that building there?
This old schoolhouse was owned by Harry Clark. He passed away, and I think his daughter, son-in-law, Mary and Larry Mehoff, still own the old schoolhouse in the woods, some of the property. This is going up in the hill where Dad built the third house that I remember. This farm was connected to the other one. Down a long lane. Used to have a man lived right along here named Charlie Cross. Had a trailer he lived in. He worked for Dad.
It's called Stony Brook now.
Now it's called Stony Brook. We're driving up the lane. This kid used to have to walk down this lane every morning to go to school. Seemed like a long ways. Not really. Seemed like it. Pretty piece of property up here. It's a nice view. Grandma and Grandpa just lived across the road. The other side, we could look over and see their house. This is the house that Dad built. Old stone house. Can't get too much of a picture. We don't want to go into bother the people. It might throw us out. Go ahead, Lois. Beautiful home. Big lake or pond right on the other side of it. Along Grandpa McDonald's house. They moved from West Florence, sold the store. They moved down here. Don't look much like it used to. It was all white and had a nice porch on it. It's been changed quite a bit. This is standing from Grandma and Grandpa's driveway across the road from where we was at. Got the picture up on the hill. You can just see a little bit of the house across the road. Us kids used to have a path from our house over to Grandma and Grandpa's. Cut across through the fields. The house on the hill. Years ago, when I was a young lad living here, our neighbors, the Nosdals, lived in this old house. This is the barn. It's been remodeled. The state since bought the farm, and they redone the barn and cleaned the house up, fixed it all up and everything. And now it's called the Pioneer Museum.
Pioneer Farm Museum.
Pioneer Farm Museum. These people were real nice people. I remember coming up, she made a lot of cookies and different things. I remember coming up there and getting some of her homemade cookies. But like I say, it's changed a lot too. The state done a lot to fix it up. It's open on the weekends for people to tour. Right out this end of the house, if I remember right, I think there was an old underground cellar. It wasn't in the house, it was out the edge of the house. Down in the ground right out there at the end. Eastern Woods, off the Brown Road. This is a farm of our neighbors, longtime friends. Just lost the last one this year. Vic, Valita, and Mrs. Dudley lived here that I knew. Mr. Dudley, Andrew, he was gone before I was grown up. A nice farm, and they were real good neighbors. We're sure gonna miss them. Some of the outbuildings. Had a garage built there. Right in behind those trees, I don't know if I can see it or not, is an old summer kitchen that they lived in for a long time while they was building the house. Nice house, all for sale now. And here you can pick it up for $275,000. A little over 100 acres.
Want to move?
Go on. It's a view from the front rather than the road. This is a picture of this is pumpkin's one that both the brothers raising. It's about 3 weeks old right now. He's feeding it. It'll probably weigh about 30 pounds. He hopes it's going to get up into about 60 or 70 pounds. And the way it's going, it probably will. It's one big pumpkin. Got some crucial in there too. They're not quite as big, but they're getting pretty good size. He hasn't been feeding them like he's been feeding some of the others. There's quite a few things growing in the patch. I think there's another crucial somewhere. There it is. They're going to be nice size too. Got a couple, another pumpkin hiding in here somewhere. I think it's it. They're all hiding in them vines. There's another pumpkin in there. They're hard to find. They're hiding out in there. Got a bunch of still more blooms coming on. Heading for Florida. Got her all loaded up, getting ready to head to south. Looks like a pile of rust.